Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories, the podcast that takes your ideas and turns them into bedtime stories. Let's see what ideas we have on SpeakPipe for tonight.
Hi, my name is Claire, and I would like a Harry Potter summer camp where you learn how to fly on a broom and you learn different types of spells. Bye, love your podcast.
Well, Claire, that is a great idea. And while I can't actually do a Harry Potter summer camp because that is the intellectual property of J.K. Rowling, I think we could definitely do a wizard summer camp with some similar themes and that sort of thing. So probably not exactly what you're looking for, but I hope you like it anyways. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I almost didn't make an episode tonight. I was feeling tired, I was busy, but then I looked at all of my ratings and reviews, and honestly, that made me pretty happy. Thank you to everyone who's giving me ratings and reviews on Apple or wherever you're listening. It really makes a big difference and helps other people find the show. Now, while I was there, I did find one-star review, specifically because the person liked my old logo better. And honestly, that got me wondering, do other people like my old logo better too? So I've actually created a little Google form. You should be able to find it in the description below, and if you click on it, you can vote for the logo that you like best. So there's my old logo, the current logo that I'm using, made by Veronica Bainon, and a brand new logo concept that probably needs some work, but kind of goes beyond the whole dinosaur theme into some of the other things in the podcast. So if you feel like it and have an opinion at all on my logo, please just click on that. Pick the one you like best. Parents, you can vote. Kids, you can vote. Everybody gets one vote. Last, I want to just give a big shout out to my latest Patreon sponsors. Thank you to Will and Elise for one. I really appreciate you guys sponsoring the podcast. And thank you to Leo. I believe I shouted out his dad Luke before, but Leo, shout out to you too, sir. Thank you for listening and thank you for sharing your ideas. As a small hint, I'm currently looking for ideas about, back to school for next week. So if anyone has a great back to school idea that we can put up for next week, leave it on SpeakPipe or fill out the Google form. Now, just get as comfy as you can in those beds, close your eyes, and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. You wake up to a strange alert, a beeping sound of some kind. You sit up in bed and see that the screen across from the foot of your bed and mounted on your wall is flashing. Alert! You have an incoming call from Pip, Spaceship says. Oh, put it on the screen or whatever. You respond, and the screen lights up with a picture, or video, of your good friend Pip, the shy kid you met at summer camp on the summer camp planet. Hey, so it's just about time to go back to school, and, well, I only have time to go to one more summer camp, and I was saving this one for last. You want to come with me? Pip asks. Probably, you say. And what summer camp do you want to go to? Well, there's this summer camp that's like for wizards, where they give you wands and you make potions and fly around on brooms and stuff like that. I really, really want to go there. Oh, that does sound cool. I mean, I have learned actual magical powers in the past, but that's kind of beside the point. I'm in, Pip. You respond. I'll be right there. Meet you at the summer camp planet office building? Okay, I'll see you there soon, Pip says, and the transmission cuts off. You walk over and grab your already packed duffel bag. You throw it over your shoulder and head to the main part of the ship. Spaceship, you say. Activate the portal to the summer camp planet. A large circular portal floats up out of the floor. Then it lights up with a bright blue energy that looks like flowing water. You jump through the portal and find yourself flying left and right, up and down, through the center of a wormhole. Eventually, you pop out the other side, hidden in a small set of bushes on the summer camp planet. You climb out of the bushes, walk over to the, welcoming area, where you see your friend Pip. Oh, you're finally here, Pip says. I already signed us up. The ride should be coming soon, he says, practically vibrating. Oh, I think this is it. My last summer camp and the best one yet. So you're telling me I get to do, like, wizardy things all week? Magic spells, potions, that sort of stuff? Exactly, Pip says. The whole cliche checklist, but, kind of like camp style. Before you can even ask what camp style means, a massive shadow passes overhead. You look up to see a gigantic bird, or, a phoenix? Its wings are blazing banners of red, gold, and orange. It swoops down from the sky and lands on the platform in a surprisingly gentle hop. That's our transportation, Pip says. Nothing says magical summer camp like riding a bird that looks like it belongs in a fantasy novel. The phoenix crouches, and you and Pip climb onto its back. It launches into the sky with a rush of hot wind, and your stomach feels a little woozy as it does. You soar high above the other camps, above emerald forests, glittering lakes, a gigantic patch of garbage, and, of course, that very strange summer camp made of coffee spilt all over the floor and chocolate cabins. Eventually, you arrive at the Wizard Summer Camp, a gigantic, beautiful, vast forest surrounded by lakes. All around, a gigantic castle where wizards or campers seem to be flying all around on brooms and, sticks of pretty much any kind. The phoenix lands in the central courtyard. Campers in mismatched robes and magical cloaks are running everywhere, some practicing sparks of fire, others accidentally turning their hats into squirrels. It's absolute chaos, honestly, but, it looks pretty fun. An older woman with a clipboard greets you at the gate. New arrivals? Wonderful. Let's get you sorted into your cabins. You raise an eyebrow. Sorting? Like, is there going to be a talking hat or some kind of destiny ceremony? You ask. The woman squints at you. What? No. We just put you where we have the space. We're not running some sort of magical prophecy factory here. She flips the page on her clipboard. You will be in the Space Wizard Tower. That sounds epic, you say. Sure it is, she mutters. clearly unimpressed with the whole thing. "Your counselor will be Gary. He'll show you around." Gary, it turns out, is waiting nearby. A tall, slightly hunched man in a faded wizard robe that looks like it's been washed a few too many times. His gray beard is trimmed but sort of uneven, and his expression says, "I signed up for this too late in life, and now I'm stuck with it." Still, he smiles warmly. "Hey there, campers. Space Wizard Tower, huh? Lucky you." He sounds like he's said this line before. "Follow me." You trail behind him across the courtyard to reach your tower. Gary leads you to a shimmering platform carved with constellations. "All right, step on up," he says. "The only way to Space Wizard Tower is by the magical star elevator." The platform glows and lifts you into the sky. The ground falls away again, and you rise toward a silvery tower perched among the clouds. The tower gleams faintly like starlight reflected on water. Inside, you find a dorm room with bunks stacked high. Enchanted lanterns float around. You drop your bag on the lower bunk. Gary claps his hands. "All right, wizards in training," he says. "The first order of business is wand making." Gary leads you down a winding corridor lined with portraits of wizards who all look equally grumpy. Most are frowning, some are glaring, and at least one of them is completely asleep in his frame with a bunch of drool running down his chin. Don't worry about them," Gary says, as one of the wizards mutters that back in his day, they didn't let children play with magic sticks. They just like to complain. It's kind of their whole job." At the end of the hall is a door carved with hundreds of little symbols. Gary pushes it open, and a bell jingles. Not a magical bell, just a normal bell that they put behind stores. Inside is the wand workshop. Shelves are stacked high with planks of enchanted wood, bundles of feathers, jars full of glowing crystals, and an entire barrel labeled Mystical Odds and Ends. Behind the counter stands an ancient wizard with eyebrows so long they kind of look like you could tie them together. He leans heavily on a crooked cane. "Welcome, new wand makers," he croaks. "I am Master Oakenstaff, wand supplier since, a very long time ago. Honestly, I've lost count." He squints at you and Pip. "Now, in the old days, to do magic, you needed a deep understanding of the universe and a powerful belief in yourself." He waves a hand dramatically, then lowers his voice. "But these days, with our patented wand cores, any dum-dum can do it. Just wave the thing right and say the words. Absolute efficiency, if you ask me." Oakenstaff gestures to a rack of carved wand handles. "Choose your wood and shape. Pick something that feels epic. Then we'll pop in a core, and if you're cut out for wizardry, it should work." You pick up a wand with a spiraling handle, sleek and kind of dramatic looking, almost humming in your pond. Pip grabs one shaped like a lightning bolt. "Good choices," Oakenstaff says, rummaging through a drawer. He brings out a box of glowing crystals. "Now, these are the card cores. Slide one into your wand, give it a twist, and presto." You slot a shimmering blue crystal into your wand. Instantly, it glows and emits a tiny fanfare of magical sparks. Pip does the same. "Now, for the test," Oakenstaff says. He points to a chair in the corner. "Basic levitation. The spell is Lavigzu. And at the same time, you have to sort of flick the wand like this." You decide to try it. You raise your wand, you say, "Lavigzu," and you kind of flick your wand the same way that Oakenstaff did. The chair begins to tremble. It shivers, and then it lifts up into the air. It feels as though it's connected to your wand. Anywhere you move the wand, the chair moves. Up, down, left, right. As you tilt your wand forward, it shoots further away from you, and as you pull the wand back, it shoots closer towards you. Pip tries the same thing. "Lavigzu," he says, flicking his wand, and successfully bringing his chair to a floating state. Gary claps beside you. "All right, great job, campers. Next stop, the spell range." Gary leads you away from the wand shop, through several corridors, out into a vast field, and to a place called the Range. The spell range is honestly exactly what it sounds like. A long field with targets at the far end. Some of them are already looking singed, frozen, or melted. Wizard campers are lined up practicing, while a safety sign reads, "Please do not accidentally set Gary on fire." Gary hands you both earplugs. "All right, everyone. Standard spells first, and, well, of course for safety, don't wander out into the spell range, and only point your wand at something you're willing to cast a spell on. All right, here we go. First thing is the fireball." Gary demonstrates by flicking his wand and yelling, "Fajro!" A ball of flame shoots out of the tip of his wand and sets one of the targets at the other end on fire. You copy him exactly, flicking your wand, saying, "Fajro," and sure enough, a ball of flame bursts from your wand and smacks into the target with a very satisfying sort of scorch mark. Pip shoots as well, but his shot goes wide and incinerates a bush. Luckily, the bush seems to immediately grow back. It must be magic. The two of you practice shooting fireballs for a while, until Gary interrupts. "All right, nice job, both of you. Next up, for lightning. Now, you just have to flick your wrist like this and say, 'Fulmo.'" A bolt of lightning shoots out of Gary's wand and makes one of the targets at the other end explode. You copy the same movement, yell the same word, "Fulmo," and sure enough, a bolt of lightning shoots out of your wand. You find lightning a little more unpredictable. It zigzags across the field, and in the end, it just sort of blasts into the ground. Not bad. Takes a little while to get the hang of lightning, though. You kinda have to, select the target first, and when you flick your wand, you imagine the wand is like a whip connecting to the target, like this. FOMO! Gary whips his wand, and again, a bolt of lightning shoots out and explodes the target. You shrug your shoulders and give it another try. It takes a few attempts, but eventually you get the hang of it. It really is like you're sort of whipping the target with the wand and saying the word at just the right time. Fulmo, you say, and a bolt of lightning whips across the field, causing one of the targets to explode. You and Pip continue to practice until you start to hit the target almost every time. You only destroy a few bushes in the background. Good job. Now, the classic levitation spell. Levigzu. Gary flicks his wrist, just like Oakenstaff did, and lifts a rock up into the air. Now, once you have something attached to your wand, you can use it in any way you see fit. Lift your wand up, and it'll go up. Lift your wand down, and it'll go down. Moving forward, back, left, and right is more about tilting the wand itself in the direction you want it to go. You do the same spell. Levigzu, you say as you flick your wrist, connecting to a rock and lifting it up into the air. You practice moving it left, right, up, and down, and then you practice shooting the rocks towards the targets. You can actually get them going rather fast. It's kind of a fun spell. All right, great work, everyone. Next up, flying sticks. Gary leads you and Pip across the courtyard to a long, grassy field. A dozen kids are already there, each one holding some kind of stick. You tilt your head. Aren't we supposed to be flying on brooms? You ask. Gary waves a hand. That's the biggest myth in wizarding history. The broom thing stuck because, well, brooms are literally everywhere. Super practical, but honestly, any stick will do. The stick is the important part after all. What did you think? Like the grass that was attached to the end of the broom was the magic part? Honestly, kids these days. Alright, anyways, you guys go find a stick from this pile, something you feel like flying on, and we'll go from there. You look through the different kinds of sticks. There's all sorts. Pool cues, baseball bats, long ordinary sticks, broomsticks, of course, and even some sticks that look like they're made for flying. Sticks with little footrests on them and little handles. You decide to go with one of those. Pip grabs one that looks almost exactly the same. All right, good job. Next, we have to bring the sticks to life. All you have to do is point at the stick, make a flicking motion, and say, Alvinu. Say it, mean it, and the stick will come to life. Sure enough, Gary's stick just floats up in the air and drifts over beside him. You toss your stick on the ground, raise your wand, and command, Elvinu. The stick shivers and then rises into the air. Pip does the same thing. All right, Step 3 is you have to bond with your stick. Just focus on the stick, flick your wand, and say, Ligzu. That should link you and the stick in your thoughts and all that. You do exactly that, pointing at the wood, flicking your wand, and saying, Ligzu. The stick hums faintly, and suddenly, you're very aware of the stick. In fact, you can make the stick move with your mind. You imagine it floating towards you, and it does. You and Pip climb aboard, and Gary gives the next instructions. Perfect. Now all you have to do is think your way through the air. If you want to go forward, just think about it. Up, think about it. Left, think about it. You kind of get the idea. Gary zooms off into the air, turning left to right before blasting straight up towards the clouds. You start to move a little slower, getting a feeling for the broom before commanding it to move forward. It doesn't take long before you get the hang of it. It works a lot like your spacesuit does. It kind of goes where you imagine it going. You spend some time flying high up above the magical world until Gary waves for you to come back. All right, perfect. Now there's only one thing left, Gary says. It's time for potions. Gary leads you and Pip to what looks like a greenhouse attached to the side of a castle. Glass walls arched overhead. At the front of the class stands a wizard with a long lab coat over his robes and a pair of cracked goggles on his forehead. Welcome, students, he booms. I am Professor Boltenstein, Potions Master, brewer of brews, mixture of mixtures. Today we shall craft the most useful of camp concoctions, the invisibility potion. The whole class cheers. Finally, a chance to sneak snacks from the dining hall without being noticed, Pip says. Bottlestein slams a jar onto the table. Step 1. Add Herboforge's leaves. They confuse the senses. He sprinkles some into the cauldron. Step 2. A dash of nebulage routage. These roots create a magical fog around your presence. He tosses in gnarled chunks that sizzle like bacon. And of course, step 3, the finishing touch, a spell to bind it all together. Nevidebla, he says as he flicks his wand towards the cauldron. Now, you try. You and Pip crush up the leaves, add the other ingredients, stir things around until Boltenstein comes by. This looks good. Now you use the magic. Remember, Nevidebla, he says. Okay. You pick up your wand, move it the same way that Boltenstein did, and command, Nevidebla. Your potion bubbles furiously, and then calms into a liquid that looks like melted glass. Should we taste it? You ask. I would not drink the potions unless you like glowing teeth for 3 weeks. Just kidding. Really, we would not be able to see you for a long time. Instead, you are to smear it on your skin. You dip your finger in and smear it on the back of your hand. Instantly, your hand disappears. Whoa, says Pip, grabbing a scoop full of potion and smearing it all the way down his arm. his entire arm disappears. Other campers giggle and test their potions as well. As you rub a little on your head, shoulders, knees, toes, hands, everything, you disappear entirely.
This is marvelous. Now, it is time for me to go. Have fun with your invisibility,
he says as he walks out of the room.
Well, probably for the best. It's time for dinner anyways.
Gary leads you to the dining hall, which is buzzing with chatter. Roasted vegetables, glowing soups, foods of all shapes, sizes, and tastes float from table to table. All you have to do is grab a piece of something you want and put it on your own plate. Dinner is delicious.
Well, it's campfire time, Gary says. Grab your cloaks. You're not gonna want to miss this.
You head out of the dining hall, and he leads you into a wide meadow just beyond the castle. A ring of logs and cushions circle the fire pit. At its center, flames already leap and twist, but not like any ordinary campfire. These flames are rainbow bright, crackling in colors that don't exist in the normal world. Indigo, silver, even sparks of pure gold. You sit with Pip on one of the logs as the fire whooshes higher. The flames bend and shape themselves into images. Stories told in firelight. A dragon soars above the logs, wings of flame stretching across the stars. Then a castle appears, towers flicker, and an enormous whale swims through waves of orange. The fire is alive, and it slowly changes as you watch it. The warmth of the fire seeps into your skin, and your eyelids start to grow heavy. The fire's stories slow, shifting into calmer shapes, glowing forests, gentle rivers, quiet cabins nestled in starlight. Gary's voice drifts over the meadow, soft and steady.
All right, campers, let's wind down. Let the fire carry your thoughts.
As you sit there, you start to notice the stars above you are growing and glowing brighter, almost closer. Then, one by one, they drift down. Tiny orbs of light like glowing fireflies float into the meadow. A star lowers itself right in front of you, bobbing like it's offering you a ride. You yawn, suddenly too sleepy to question it. The star expands into a cushion of soft, glowing light, and you feel yourself lifted into the air. The meadow drifts below, the fire still painting little sleepy pictures. Pip raises up beside you on his own star. The stars whisk you gently towards the tower, and as they carry you higher, you let out a long, slow breath. You notice your toes, tired from a day of magic. They grow warm and heavy, finally relaxing. Your legs soften too, loose and comfortable. Your back relaxes, the last bits of tension melting away. Your arms, your shoulders, your hands, they all grow heavy and calm. The glow of the stars soothes you, rising with each breath. Even your face relaxes. Your eyes soften, your jaw looses, and everything gets quiet. The star carries you through the cool night sky, flying into the tower and gently dropping you into your bed. The bed feels impossibly soft, like clouds wrapped in blankets. You hear Gary's voice one last time in the distance. Rest well, campers. Tomorrow, the magic continues. Your eyes close. The star's light fades into your dreams, and you gently drift off to thoughts of new dreams and new adventures to come. Good night, everyone.